Hello friends, welcome to Akul Mac Live and I'm your host Chandrakant. This video is sponsored by Performance Works International. More about them in a bit. Today's breaking news is about Bitcoin and a small country called El Salvador has adapted the Bitcoin. I think we are going to discuss this. This is an excellent subject for our discussion. So, uh, El Salvador is a small country which is located in the Latin America, in the Central America region, and it is, surrounded by countries like Panama, and it's actually not very far from Mexico. And they have actually announced that they will be accepting Bitcoins as one of the legal tender in the country. And I feel that this is a great move. I think they are scripting history by accepting the first non-inflationary currency. I will actually explain everything. And friends, we are actually live right now across all social media and whichever part of the world if you're watching us. And if you have a question about this, any observation, you can directly write to us. Your name and your question will display on the screen and we can take up live during the show. So basically, when I say it's non-inflationary, I will explain about it. But I think let's understand why El Salvador has started this currency in the first place. If you look at the, sorry about that, I pressed the wrong button. But if you look at the surrounding of the country, it's a very small country. And if you look at the population itself, it's only about 7 million people that lives in the entire country. And if you compare the population of El Salvador, it is like any other C-class city in India, which is having, in India, and there are so many of these large number of people living in India and so many C-class cities. I'm not even talking about the metropolitan. I'm talking about the third level cities, which will have a population which is equal to the population of entire country of El Salvador. If you look at the history, they are obviously a Spanish conquered from native Indians, and then there are a lot of turmoils, and for past 400-500 years there are a lot of political upheavals, and finally they were able to create a proper multi-party system in the 90s, and from that time it is stable. But before that they had a very disturbed history. They also had a civil war, and because of that, a lot of people from El Salvador were actually escaped the country because of civil war, and went to United States. And once the war was there was no war. The war was then there was an agreement so that the Wari faction come together and create a political system in the country. A lot of people from El Salvador were sending money back to their people, their families back in the country. And therefore, in 2001, because a lot of US dollars were flowing into the country, in 2001, and it's such a small country, it is meaningless to have their own currency. So they said that we will have US dollars as our national currency. Because anyway, the entire currency which is flowing in is US dollars. And then that's when this El Salvador currency is United States dollars from 2001 onwards. And by the way, there is a question from one of our viewers. Let's take that. And this is one of our viewers joining in from YouTube, and they are asking that, in fact, it's an observation that I think it will be a long-lasting effect on the economy of the world. I certainly feel that because this is the first nation to legalize the Bitcoin. So I was actually telling you about the history and why it is easier for El Salvador to accept Bitcoin as a currency. Now let's look at the economy of this country. It's a very small country which is having ocean on one side and landlocked by other countries, other region. It's a very small area. Largely, it is agriculture-based economy, and they have three things which they export out of the country. One is cocoa, which is used for making chocolates. Number two is the indigo, which is used for making the color dye, blue color dye, which is very popular in Portuguese and Spanish cultures. And number three is the coffee. So El Salvadorian coffee is also very popular. And these are the three major things this country does. And therefore, in order to improve the quality of people's life, they have accepted US dollars as a legal tender in 2001. Now they've accepted Bitcoin. And as I mentioned in the beginning, that it's a non-inflationary currency, which is going to benefit the people of El Salvador, which I'm presuming they may not be very well off. However, as per the World Survey, their ranking in the happiness index is number 17th. So it's a small country with poverty and not too much of economic activity going on. Still, they are very high on a happiness index, and they are ranked at number 17. And therefore, let's come back to Bitcoin. Now, what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a currency which is managed by the internet. There is no bank, there is no central bank, or there is no basket of currencies, there is no gold, or there is nothing like that. It is an algorithm based currency which is managed by the internet. And to hold the Bitcoin, you don't require a vault or anything. It's just a code which is generated by the internet, and it is available for anyone to download it and start using it. You can buy and sell. You can have a wallet. You can store your Bitcoin. You can pay just like any other currency. You make the payment in Bitcoin and accept payment for your services in Bitcoin into your wallet. And it is volatile. It is not a fixed currency. It is volatile based on the economic conditions of world trade. The value of Bitcoin goes up and down. So it is a proper currency. It is non-inflationary because if you look at US dollars, or if you look at any other currency across the world, then definitely the value of the currency depends on various aspects. How that country's economy is doing. If there is a turmoil in that country, obviously the currency will dip. It'll not be as strong. So Bitcoin is really is not affected by one single country's events. It is a global currency, and therefore it is non-inflationary. It does not create a inflation which is created by, let's say, in case of El Salvador, probably by US dollars, because El Salvador is a separate country, but they will be affected by inflation which is happening in United States because their currency is US dollars. So therefore, now they can move away from the inflation which is transferred automatically from USA to El Salvador if this Bitcoin experiment succeed. And currently they will continue with US dollars. They will have two currencies, which is US dollars, because a lot of inflow of dollars is happening into this country, and also Bitcoin. So there will be two currencies. In fact, as I said, this is an experiment because the people will have to adapt. I mean, the government has already announced they have purchased Bitcoin, and the details of this two tranches of Bitcoin that they have got is given in the description below. So you can read in detail about how much it is worth. Now the people have to come forward, and government of El Salvador was not very clear about how quickly the whole system will ramp up. So they were not sure about it, so they created a wallet. And to their surprise, in the past 2 days, there has been so many hits. So many people, citizens of El Salvador, trying to get access to their own wallet to create their own wallet that their wallet server crashed. So the services were taken offline for some time. They fixed the whole capacity issue and they brought it up back again. So it is basically a very big hit among the people of El Salvador, and they are the people, the citizens of the country are now trying to create their own wallet using Bitcoin. So it's a success so far. And let's look at the inflation aspect of it. See, if you look at any investment, there are multiple investment you can make. You can keep your money either in the form of the currency or in the form of gold or in the form of Bitcoin. So there are three different areas where three different avenues you can actually have your money protected and stored. Now, if you are in India, then obviously the Indian currency is more volatile and inflationary than as compared to US dollars. So, and if you keep your savings in US dollars, you're better off than keeping them in Indian rupees as for the if you're able to maintain a dollar account in India, which is allowed, you can do that. And whenever you need money, you can convert into Indian rupees and get your money out. So that is the way people actually store money. You can have fixed deposits, you can have mutual funds, you can have different kinds of products. The safest method even today is storing in gold, because gold price always goes up. Slowly but steadily, it will continue to go up. There is no way that the gold price will ever crash, because gold is a very scarce material. So the second best method is storing your savings in gold. And the third best method, which is now emerging, is Bitcoin, because there is no government agency, there is no country, no central bank manages Bitcoin. It has an algorithm and it is managed at the internet level. So it truly is a global currency, and therefore you can then, if it is allowed legally, you can store your savings into Bitcoin and start using it. So I think El Salvador, being a small nation of only 7 million people, I think it's they are doing groundbreaking, they have taken groundbreaking decisions. They are taking the right step towards future. And I feel that it is a good experiment to have. I personally feel that it is a good experiment where if a small sort of pocket of people accepts Bitcoin in a large way, then it sets an example that how a successful model can emerge out of this, and people need not worry about economy getting crashed just by changing over into a different currency. And by the way, since I'm from India, I will talk about the Central Bank of India is also working on introducing India's own digital currency. I think we will hear about them shortly. I think there's a lot of work going on, a lot of groundwork is already prepared. India being a very populous, large country, and if the digital currency comes up in India, it will actually change the paradigm of economy globally, because obviously there are three large countries in the world today. If you look at number of people, it is India, China, and United States. They are the most populous countries. So if India, which is like 20% of the population of the world, changes over to a digital currency, it will change the parameters of economy completely. And I think there's a lot of work going on. We will follow this story. I think El Salvador adapting the Bitcoin is very exciting. I think it is one of the unprecedented steps that a country can take. And it is basically transferring benefit to the people, because the poor people of the country need not be affected by the inflation of another country like United States, because their currency is US dollar. So I think it's the right step in the right direction. Before I go, a big thanks to Performance Works International for sponsoring this video. Their support helped us to produce these kind of videos and bring the knowledge-based programs to you. Before I go, I like to say there is a big thanks to Performance Works, and there is a message for them. and I'll see you next time in the next program.
This video is sponsored by Performance Works International.
Are you ready for the challenges facing the modern workplace? Recent events have taught us the importance of transformation. Businesses now face a perfect storm of challenges. No business is too big to fail, and many are too slow to succeed. Our workforce is changing fast. We're entering a new age of empowerment, and everyone can contribute. The Inner CEO reveals how we can all play a part in making leading at all levels a reality. Written by Jeremy Blaine, an expert on business transformation and growth, it provides a roadmap to help everyone unleash their inner CEO and contribute beyond their job role, whatever their level. Traditionally, strategy has been owned by the few. Now it's time for the many to contribute. Leadership must come from a broader base. Everyone has the potential to step up and make things happen. It's a new model of collective and collaborative leadership which unleashes the power of people, enabled by appropriate technology and a supportive management structure. The book provides a roadmap for a bold new age of empowerment. Supported by a range of resources, the book provides a toolkit to help anyone unleash their inner CEO. Organisation health, development and growth is owned at all levels. Are you ready to unleash the inner CEO?